Frank?
Well, I guess you're gonna help me find him then.
Vas a ir, puta.
The movie kicks off with a squad of American snipers sent into Iraq on a mission to grab the leader of a dangerous terror group. This guy wanted to cut a deal with the Americans, thinking they'd help him in exchange for some useful info. But while the soldiers were setting up the extraction, fighters from the same terrorist group were closing in fast, ready to rescue their boss or take out anyone trying to stop them.
Guys, we got a problem. My position's been compromised.
With no way out and things getting more intense, the team leader, Frank, made a snap decision. He killed the terror leader and his family to keep them from falling into enemy hands. "10 years later. Fast forward 10 years. Frank's out of the military and trying to live a quieter life. But that one horrific day still haunts him. Now, he runs a small auto repair shop and keeps mostly to himself. One evening, after finishing a job with one of his workers, Frank heads home to his wife Cassie and her daughter Shannon, whom he's raised like his own. During dinner, Cassie suggests a weekend getaway to relax as a family. But Frank has to drop off the fixed car to a customer. Cassie doesn't want to miss out and insists on tagging along, and Shannon ends up coming too. Frank agrees, even though he's a bit uneasy. The car's owner isn't your average customer. It's someone from Frank's past, a guy named Leo who now runs a major crime operation. Things get complicated. Once they reach Leo's place, things start to go sideways. Frank gets into it with one of Leo's goons, and it turns ugly real quick. Then this slick guy named Lazarus steps in. He's basically Leo's second-in-command, and brings Frank inside to meet Leo himself. Leo doesn't waste any time. He hands Frank an envelope loaded with cash, way more than what the car job was worth. Turns out, Leo's trying to pull Frank back into his world, not as a mechanic, but as a hitman. Frank shuts him down right away, but Leo still gives him the cash and lets him walk out. Even though Frank says no, the idea lingers in his mind. The money's tempting, sure, but with Cassie and Shannon in the picture now, getting involved with Leo again feels like playing with fire. Later that night, while watching TV, Frank hears some tragic news. Leo's daughter died in a hit-and-run accident. Knowing how much she meant to Leo, Frank understands the kind of pain he must be feeling. A dangerous request. Not long after, Lazarus shows up at Frank's place with a message from Leo. He wants Frank's help to track down and kill whoever ran over his daughter. Frank doesn't want anything to do with it and says no. But Lazarus doesn't take rejection well, making it clear there would be serious consequences if Frank refuses. Cassie sees Lazarus and the thugs hanging around and knows something's off. She presses Frank for answers, but he keeps quiet, not wanting to drag her into this. She's furious and slaps him in frustration.
You just don't go. You stay right here.
Sorry. I think I was gonna hit you.
At Leo's place, the guy is devastated. He begs Frank to get revenge, saying if Frank doesn't do it, he'll tell Cassie about Frank's dark past, especially the brutal killings in Iraq. Frank doesn't want Cassie to ever hear about that, so feeling backed into a corner, he agrees. The next day, Lazarus hands Frank a detailed file on the guy who hit Leo's daughter. Frank quickly finds the man's location. He scopes him out from a distance, sniper rifle ready, just like the old days. Frank can't go through with it. He walks away and calls the cops instead, letting them deal with it legally. He thinks it's over. Final blow. But what Frank doesn't know is that Leo had someone tailing him the entire time. So when Leo finds out Frank let the guy live and called the police instead, he completely loses it.
Killer.
Things took a serious turn, and Frank found himself in deep trouble. Back at home, things got even worse. Cassie was caught off guard when Leo's men barged into the house.
Frank?
I guess you're gonna help me find him then.
Vas a ir, puta.
At the same time, Lazarus and his guys broke the hit-and-run suspect out of police custody. When Frank got home and saw what had happened, he was devastated. With Cassie bleeding, he didn't waste a second. He picked her up and rushed her to the hospital, desperate to save her. Realizing he couldn't handle everything on his own, he reached out to an old buddy from his sniper days, Timothy, begging for help to get Shannon back. At the hospital, Frank found Cassie in pain and completely shaken up. She was angry and heartbroken, blaming him for hiding the truth and putting their daughter in danger. Frank, filled with guilt, tried to make things right. He told her how sorry he was and promised that he and Timothy would do everything they could to bring Shannon home. He urged her to rest and trust him just a little longer. Frank and Timothy headed straight to Leo's place, but the place was nearly empty. No sign of Leo, Lazarus, or Shannon.
Where is he? I'll give you 3 seconds. Is that it? Is that his house?
Meanwhile, Leo had taken Shannon to the town he grew up in. Despite treating her kindly and trying to look after her like she was his own kid, Shannon stayed scared and just wanted to be back with her mom. Leo's wife, Marta, was starting to worry too. She could see how messed up the situation was and begged Leo to end it before things went further. But Leo wouldn't listen. His grief had consumed him and he wasn't letting go. Knowing how Leo operated, Frank had a hunch where to look next. He and Timothy headed for one of Leo's major drug hideouts in Mexico, hoping to find a lead. It wasn't just about taking down Leo's business. They needed info fast. Leo, of course, had already guessed Frank would come after him, so he sent one of his toughest guys, Nelson, to stop him for good. But luck was on Frank's side. He found Nelson drinking at a bar and caught him off guard. After a tense showdown, Frank forced Nelson to spill the beans about where Shannon was. At the same time, Timothy cleaned up the rest of the gang at the facility.
Where is he?
Summer home, some shithole town. Tell you, Ochoa killed me. I don't tell you, you kill me. I'll take my chances with you.
Once they had what they needed, Frank decided not to risk Nelson turning on them and took him out for good. Now that they knew Shannon was back at Leo's main home, Frank and Timothy geared up for what would probably be their last big fight. They were determined to save her, no matter what. Lazarus, on the other hand, got his men ready to defend the place.
You might want to get down.
To the left, to the right. What? Now what?
Not looking so good, buddy.
Sadly, during the fight, Timothy got badly hurt. Frank had no choice but to move forward on his own.
So afraid I wasn't gonna be able to find you. Come on, be careful.
The pressure was on. Frank had to stop him before something terrible happened. Frank confronted Leo, asking him to let Shannon go and promising to walk away if he did. Marta, seeing how out of control everything had gotten, pleaded with her husband to end it, reminding him that Shannon had her own family who loved her. But Leo wasn't ready to back down.
We wouldn't be here like this.
With that, it was over. Leo's reign came to an end. Shannon was finally safe. Frank kept his word to Cassie. Despite everything that had happened, she forgave him. With the danger behind them, they focused on picking up the pieces and moving on as a family. Thanks for sticking around. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for more movie breakdowns. See you next time.